I still remember the exact moment my life broke, not slowly, not quietly, in front of everyone, at my sister's wedding. And the worst part, it wasn't a stranger who humiliated me. It was my own parents. Why would they do that? What could I have possibly done to deserve being called the family disgrace? Because trust me, what they said that night was their biggest mistake, and they had no idea what was coming next. My name is Emily Carter, and if you saw me that night, you probably would have believed them. Messy hair, simple dress, no makeup. I didn't look like I belonged there. But what no one knew was the truth behind everything. And that truth, it was about to destroy the perfect image my family had built for years. The wedding was beautiful, too perfect, actually. White roses everywhere, soft music playing, people laughing. My sister, Sophia, looked like a dream. Golden dress, perfect smile. She was always the perfect one. Straight A's, popular, loved by everyone. And me, I was the problem child. At least, that's what my parents always said. Emily, stand straight. Emily, don't embarrass us. Emily, why can't you be more like Sophia? I heard those lines my whole life, but that night felt different. Why? Because something in the air felt off, like a storm waiting to happen. I almost didn't go. I stood outside the venue for 10 minutes, just staring at the door. Should I leave? Should I just disappear like they always wanted? But then I thought, no, not today. I walked in, and the moment I stepped inside, everything changed. People noticed me, not in a good way. Whispers started. Is that her? She actually showed up? I heard she ruined everything last year. I clenched my fists. What were they talking about? What ruin? I hadn't even been around. But rumors, they travel faster than truth. I saw my mom first. She looked at me, and her smile faded instantly. Not surprise, not happiness, disappointment. Again, she walked toward me, slow, controlled. Emily, she said quietly, why are you here? Why am I here? Did she really just ask that? I'm your daughter. I replied. I was invited. Her jaw tightened. Just don't cause a scene. A scene? I hadn't even done anything. Yet. Then my dad joined. Same look, same cold eyes. Behave yourself, he said. That's it. No hug. No welcome. Just a warning. Like I was a ticking bomb. But what they didn't know was that I wasn't the one about to explode. They were. The ceremony started. Everyone sat down. Soft music filled the air. Sophia walked down the aisle. Perfect. Everything was perfect. Until she looked at me. And for a split second, her smile dropped. Why? What did she know? The vows began. People were emotional. Crying. Smiling. I should have felt something. But I didn't. I just felt numb. Like I didn't belong in that story. Like I was just a side character in someone else's perfect life. Then came the speeches, and that's when everything went wrong. Or maybe that's when the truth finally came out. My dad took the mic first. He laughed, joked, praised Sophia, perfect daughter, pride of our family. Everyone clapped. Of course they did. Then he paused. His eyes scanned the crowd, and then they landed on me. Why was he looking at me like that? What was he about to say? And then he continued, there are mistakes in every family. The room went quiet. My heart stopped. No, he wouldn't, right? He smiled, but it wasn't a kind smile. It was cold, sharp, and sometimes those mistakes become a disgrace. A few people chuckled nervously. I couldn't breathe. Was he really doing this? Here? Now? And unfortunately, he added, we have one of those sitting right here tonight. Silence. Heavy, crushing silence. All eyes turned to me. I froze. My ears rang. My chest tightened. This wasn't happening. This couldn't be real. My own father just called me the family disgrace at my sister's wedding, in front of everyone. And then something unexpected happened. Sophia stood up, suddenly, fast. Her chair scraped loudly against the floor. Her hands were shaking. Her eyes locked on me, not angry, not proud, terrified. Why was she scared? What was she hiding? She opened her mouth to speak, but I stood up first, and for the first time in my life, I smiled, a calm, dangerous smile, because in that moment, I realized something. They thought they had power over me. They thought I would stay quiet. They thought I would take it like always. But they forgot one thing. I knew the truth they had been hiding for years. And now I was done protecting them. I looked straight at my father, then at my mother, then at Sophia, and I said something that made the entire room gasp. Do you really want me to tell them everything? And the look on their faces, pure fear. What were they so afraid of? What truth could destroy this perfect family? And why did my sister look like she was about to break down? Because what I was about to reveal would ruin more than just a wedding. It would destroy everything. The room froze. No music, no whispers, just silence. The kind of silence that feels heavy, like everyone could sense it. Something was about to explode. My dad forced a laugh. Emily, sit down, he said, like this was a joke. Like I was still that scared little girl. But I didn't move. Not this time. You called me a disgrace, I said calmly. So let's talk about disgrace. A few people shifted in their seats, uncomfortable, confused. Good. They deserved to feel that. My mom stepped forward. Stop this right now, she whispered. Her voice was shaking. Why? Was she scared of me or scared of the truth? I took a slow breath. My heart was racing, but my voice, steady, clear. Tell them, Mom, I said, tell them why I left home. Silence. Again, but this time it felt louder. No one spoke. Not my dad, not my mom, not even Sophia, especially not Sophia. I looked at her, my perfect sister. Her eyes were full of tears now. Why? Because she knew. She knew exactly what I was about to say. Fine, I whispered. I'll do it. You all think I'm the problem, I said, turning to the crowd, that I ruined this family. I paused. Let it sink in. But the truth is, I looked straight at my parents. They ruined me first. A few gasps. Soft. Sharp. People leaned forward. Now, they were listening. Now, they wanted the truth. I was 16. I continued. When everything changed. My hands trembled slightly, but I didn't stop. I got accepted into an art program in New York. Murmurs started. That was my dream, I said, my only dream. But my parents didn't like that. I glanced at them. My dad looked angry now. My mom, pale. They said it was useless. They said I'd embarrass the family. They said I needed to stay and be like Sophia. Perfect, safe, predictable. But I didn't listen. A small smile crossed my face. Ishos mizev. For once. And that's when everything flipped. My voice lowered. They told everyone I got expelled, that I was irresponsible, that I ran away after causing problems. The whispers got louder. People started looking at my parents. Different now, not with admiration, with doubt. But that wasn't the truth, I said. I stepped closer. They kicked me out. Silence. Complete. Crushing. My mom shook her head. No. Yes, I cut her off. You packed my bags. You told me not to come back unless I became someone you could be proud of. My voice cracked slightly, but I kept going. 16 years old. Alone. A tear rolled down Sophia's cheek. Why was she crying now? Where was this emotion before? I struggled. I said, I worked 2 jobs. I slept in places I don't even want to remember. My throat tightened, but I didn't quit. I looked around the room, at all those faces, strangers, family friends, people who judged me without knowing anything. I built my life from nothing. I said, soft, but powerful. And you know what? I smiled, not weak this time, strong. I made it. Confusion spread across the room. What did I mean? I'm not a disgrace, I said. Then I turned slowly toward Sophia, and neither is she. That got everyone's attention. What? Sophia broke, completely. She covered her mouth, crying now, shaking. What do you mean? Someone whispered. I took a deep breath. This was it, the final truth. Sophia didn't build this perfect life. I said quietly. She lived the life they forced on her. My parents froze. She wanted to study music. I continued. She wanted to leave too. I looked at her, but she was scared. Sophia nodded. Barely, but enough. So she stayed. I said, she became who they wanted. Perfect daughter, perfect image, perfect lie. And tonight, I looked at her fiancé. He doesn't even know the real her. Gasps, louder this time. Sophia dropped to her chair, crying uncontrollably. Everything was falling apart, exactly how it was supposed to. My dad stepped forward, furious. Enough, he shouted. But it was too late, way too late. Because now everyone saw it, the truth, the cracks, the lies. I looked at my parents one last time. No anger, no hate, just clarity. You didn't just call me a disgrace tonight. I said, you exposed yourselves. I stepped back, slowly. No more lies, I whispered. No more silence. And then I turned around and walked away. No one stopped me, not my parents, not the guests, not even Sophia. But just before I reached the door, I heard something, soft, broken. Emily, wait. I stopped, slowly turned. Sophia was standing, tears everywhere, makeup ruined, perfect image gone. I'm sorry, she said. 3 words. Late, but real. I looked at her for a long moment, years of pain in one glance. And then I said something no one expected. I know. Because deep down, she wasn't the villain. They were. And that night, it didn't just ruin a wedding. It set me free. And my parents, they lost both daughters in a single moment, all because of one mistake, calling me the family disgrace.